Good morning, everybody. Hope you all are doing well on this beautiful Thursday morning. My name is Erica Wade. I am the manager for the Office of Small Business Opportunity. We're just so happy to see so many of you on this call this morning. Again, for those of you that's just joining us, go ahead and drop your business name, your website, telephone contact in the chat box so we'll know who's here. Before we get started, I want to go over some housekeeping rules for the workshop this morning. We want you guys to, first of all, keep your microphones muted. Even though we want this to be an interactive workshop, go ahead, any questions that you have, drop it in the chat box. We have staff that's monitoring the box that will get your questions answered, but we will have a question and answer period at the end of the workshop. Also, just to let you guys know that this workshop is being aired live on Richland County's YouTube channel. At the end, we will upload the workshop and it will be on our website. So if you want to go back and watch it later on, it will be there. We wanted to let you know that the views expressed in this workshop by the guests is not necessarily an endorsement from Richland County. I want to go ahead and give a special shout out, a special thank you to some special people. Ms. Pamela Green Swinton, who's our assistant manager. Pam, wave at the group, let everybody know who you are. And this is our OSBO staff. We have Ms. Martha Jones, our certification and compliance specialist, Ms. Anjanette Dunbar, who you will hear from shortly. We have Ms. Michelle Rosenthal, and also a special thank you to our Richland County Richland Library staff for partnering with us on this workshop. We really appreciate this partnership. It has really been awesome. It's been helpful with getting the seed grant that we're getting ready to talk about in a few minutes, that we're going to launch in the next couple of weeks. Also want to say a special thank you to our presenters, Ms. Rashonda Pratt and Ms. Shanice Clakley. Oh, wonderful group, guys. Only thing I can say, get your pens, your paper ready, and take some really, really good notes. I just want to highlight some great things that Richland County will have coming down within the next few weeks. We have some awesome workshops just for you, our small businesses. We want to make sure that you guys will be competitive when it comes to grants and opportunities. We want to make sure that you guys are prepared. So on February the 3rd, one of the eligibility requirements for the seed grant that's coming up in a few weeks, not only do you have to do a pitch, but you also have a business plan. So in February 3rd, we will talk about how to do a business plan. We're partnering with SBDC. We'll talk about Thursday, February 3rd, how to write a business plan. Like I said, we've partnered with SBDC. We have some wonderful speakers that's going to come in and teach you how to write your business plan. Also, I want to recognize Ms. Shanice Clakley, Grow With Me in Google. On Tuesday, January 18th, she's got 3 awesome workshops that's coming up. Investors and loan options for your business. This is January 18th. Shanice, if you can, go ahead and drop the registration link in the chat box for us. On Friday, January 28th, and we're partnering with Google with these workshops also. It calls Create a Project Plan with Google Sheets. Hey, this is a really good one also. Also on Monday, the 31st of January, build your professional brand with Google. Like I said, these are some awesome workshops that we have coming up. And on February the 16th, by a show of hands, how many of you have ever heard this or have said this? Hey, can you cash at me? Cash at me? If you're paying for something, and you the first thing you ask, hey, what form of payment do you take? Oh, you can just cash at me. How many of you have ever said it or heard that statement before? Well, we have a workshop around cash at me, guys. We want to make sure that you're using these forms of payment properly when it comes to your business. So February the 16th, stay tuned. Watch for our website. We will also send the registration about this class. We want everybody to participate, especially our business owners. because as tax season is coming around, we want to make sure that when you file your taxes, there are no surprises. And there's some federal guidelines that's coming down the pipe as it relates to your Cash App and Venmo and those forms of payments. So with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to the staff. You will now hear from Ms. Anjanette Dunbar, who's going to talk about the seed grant that we have coming open, guys. Like I said, get a pen and paper and take lots of notes. So Anjanette, good morning, it's on you.
Good morning, good morning. I'm going to share my screen if I can just figure out how to do that. Let's see. Are you able to see my PowerPoint?
No, not as yet, Anjanette. Turn your screen on.
It's on. Are you able to see the screen, Shane? Any screen?
We see a screen, but some of the words are cut off.
Okay. My apologies. Hold on, I'm having some technical difficulties. No, it was on. I'm panicking.
It's now the proper size. We can see it now.
Okay, so let me come out of panic mode. Okay. Good morning, everyone. I am Anjanette Dunbar, and thank you for attending our Seeds to Engage pitch workshop. Here at the OSBO office, we are working diligently to prepare our small businesses to apply for these programs. As Erica said earlier, we have some presentations coming up with Ms. Kelly, as with our Grow with Google sessions. We also have our Lunch and Learns that are coming up. So to get into our grants, so all of our ineligible applicants, we'll start with there. You are ineligible to apply for this particular grant if you're a hotel or motel. If you have a franchise, it could be regional, national, or a local franchise, you are ineligible. Financial or lending institutions are ineligible. Private membership businesses, so if you take membership from your clients, your business is ineligible for this particular grant. Your businesses is with 51% or more of the revenue coming from alcoholic sales or adult-oriented business. Your business owned in part or fully by Richland County staff, administration, or leadership, you are ineligible for this particular grant. If you're a business with legal actions from or against Richland County government, you are ineligible for this particular grant. Businesses with owners involved with financial mismanagement with convictions within the last 3 years, you are ineligible for this particular grant. The eligibility requirements are as follows. You must be a for-profit business located here in Richland County, South Carolina. The business must have an active business license. You must have been in business or participating in your business for at least a minimum of 6 months. The business must have 10 or fewer employees, including the owner. The business must have a DUNS number if you are awarded for the grant. And the DUNS number must be registered in the SAM database, so that it would be the sam.gov. The business must submit application and all required supporting documentation. Your business must cooperate with the appropriate officials for grant auditing purposes. So if there's a case where once the application is submitted and someone calls and asks you for additional information, you must provide the information, or even after the grant has been received and you've been contacted for some information, we want you to be able to cooperate with those auditing teams. No owner, officer, partner, or principal actor in the business has a felony conviction for financial mismanagement within the past 3 years. Again, we wanted to stress that the person cannot be in prison, on parole and or probation at this time. Business must not be publicly traded, partially owned by a hedge fund or a corporate-owned franchise. Business must not have any current city, county, state, or federal tax liens. The business does not have any current unpaid code enforcement liens and is not operating in violation of any state, federal, or local laws. The business must not be in bankruptcy, current with all local, state, federal taxes and fees, and be in compliance with all Richland County business obligations. The business can demonstrate the retention or creation of at least one full-time equivalent employment opportunity for a low or moderate income Richland County resident. So what that means, the LMI component of this grant, the business owners or an employee must have the income at or below 80% of the Richland County median income. So the chart that I have on the screen, if you can see it, for example, if the owner is cannot earn more than $40,400 a year. If the owner exceeds that income limit, that owner can designate a position within the company. So that particular position associated with that business, that person cannot earn over that $40,400 threshold. If that person has multiple people in the household, for example, if it's someone with one person and 2 children, their income cannot exceed $51,950. If you have any questions about the LMI, please contact the office and we will assist you with that question. That's one of the things that we had a lot of questions on. So the application process, you will submit an application the applications are submitted online only through the Neighborly application portal. The grant will be reviewed. The application will be reviewed for basic eligibility. OSBO staff will notify the applicants for eligibility determination. So once your applications are being reviewed, there's going to be a scoring process, and then the funding recommendations are going to be made. OSBO will notify eligible applicants of the committee's recommendation. So here's the required documents that's going to be needed for this particular grant. You're going to need to complete the grant applications and submit all of the required documentations. When you attach them, it's going to be an easy, just click and upload buttons for you to attach your information. We just ask that you go over the information properly to make sure you're attaching the correct supporting documentation. You need a copy of your Richland County business license. If your business is actually located within the city of Columbia and you don't have a Richland County business license, you need to contact the office and we'll give you directions on what documentation that you need to turn in. You need a current business plan, your documentation supporting proposed grant funds. You need a pitch. So that's what we're here today, to work on the pitch that you're going to need to upload. Initially, the pitch was a 10-minute pitch. Right now, because it's going to be a video pitch, it can be 3 to 5 minutes long. You're going to need your 2020 business and or personal taxes, all pages of the signed documentation. An annual financial statement is applicable. For seasonal businesses, a quarterly or monthly profit and loss statement covering from the period of June through November 2021. We're going to need a copy of your lease or deed demonstrating proof of commercial business address. For leases, we need a document that shows the name of the lease, the leasee, and the lease terms. For a grant deed, documentation must show the name of the owner on the property. Employee self-certification of household income, if qualifying employees as low to moderate income. The business owner self-certification household, if qualifying as low to moderate income for the business owner. You're going to need a completed W-9 business form. Again, you're going to need a DUNS number. The website is attached here on the here. If you don't, if you're not able to write that down right now, call the office and we'll be happy to send you that information. Your DUNS number must be registered in sam.gov. And that is not a workaround to that. You must have a DUNS number, and that DUNS number must be registered in sam.gov. Additional documentation may be required to verify eligibility, including bank statements of your most recent 6 months, list of current employees on your payroll, completed IRS 4506-T for business owners and employees that submitted federal income tax returns. Although selection is not guaranteed, businesses should begin to collect the required documentation in order to expedite the approval process in the event that they are selected for this grant. Grant applications, again, are only accepted through the online portal. Applications will be available January 2022. Please note the dates are subject to change. Right now, we do not have a definitive date for the grant application portal to open. However, the OSBO office will promote the grant application date, the opening date, in advance. So please watch your emails, watch for our newsletters, watch for Richland County PIO. All of our partners generally send out our information as well. So please be mindful of the emails that you receive. You don't want to miss that opening date and time. We'll give it time so you won't just get it the day of. We advertise in advance. Applications must be complete, including any attachments and uploads. Again, when you're doing your application, please take the time and read the application thoroughly, read each question, and make sure that you're placing the accurate documents in the appropriate spots. Make sure you're answering the questions as thoroughly as possible, and try not to skip over stuff. If you do, don't hit submit until you've gone through everything to make sure you've completed and uploaded the application in its entirety. Notifications will come from the OSBO staff for each step of the process. So, once you hit submit, we will notify whether you received the grant or not. So you'll get an approval or denial letter. They may not come immediately once the grant comes in, because there's a lot of behind the scenes work that goes on. So within 3 days of completing your application, it's fair to say you don't have to call the office and ask, what's the process? Did I get it? We will make contact with you. And this is how the process is going to go. You're going to get a written agreement from the county. You must maintain your Richland County business license for at least a year. In order to receive these funds, you must continue to have that low to moderate income person there for a minimum of the position there for a year. Applicants, again, must be current with their taxes. And we're asking that you participate in any testimonials or community outreach. We would like to promote the impact of this program to our community. This is a way that we can continue to request and get these funds for our small business community. We're asking that you participate in a technical training. These trainings are free through the SBA. These are some courses. So for example, you can do social media marketing, marketing 101, understanding your customer. So these are some of the certification or just the classes that the SBA have for these technical trainings. We ask that you participate in at least one. Our information is here, Richland County. We are located at 2000 Hampton Street, Suite 3014. If you have to email us, our email address is osbo@richlandcounty.southcarolina.gov. Our number here at our office is 803-576-1540. If you want to check out our website, feel free. It's richlandcountysc.gov/OSBO. That's OSBO. And again, here's a list of our staffing. It's Erica Wade is our manager, Pamela Green, our assistant manager. I am Anjanette Dunbar, the program coordinator. Margaret Jones is our certification and compliance. And Michelle Rosenthal is our business development coordinator. And again, we thank you all for participating in the Seeds to Engage grant. And I'm going to turn this back over to, I think, Erica.
Thank you so much, Anjanette. Before we go any further, I saw somebody put in the chat that they could not hear. By show of hands, please let me know that you can hear us. Okay, thank you. Okay, Anjanette, we have some questions that came in the chat box. We'll go through them pretty quickly, but once again, like I said, we'll have a question and answer period at the end. Ms. Tamika Barker, she's asking, is the income adjusted gross income?
No, it's going to be your gross income.
Okay. May you share the slide afterwards, please? Yes, and also this workshop is being aired live and it's recorded. Will be uploaded onto our Richland County OSBO website. So if you need to go back and listen to it and take down some notes, our website, I put it in the chat box, but it's www.richlandcountysc.com/OSBO, and you can just go to our workshops, click on the class, and you'll be able to replay the workshop again. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call our office, 803-576-1540. Let me go back through real quick. I live in Richland County and have a home office. My store is located in the city of Columbia. And this is coming from Ashanti Thomas. So I have a City of Columbia business license. Will I need to get a Richland County license as well?
No, you don't have to get a Richland County business license as well. However, you must have a business license survey completed by the Richland County Business License Office. So they have the forms in that office, or you can contact us and we can email you a copy of the form, but it needs to be completed and signed. And you also, so when you do the application, you're going to submit your City of Columbia business license, and you're going to upload the Richland County Business License Survey. That is going to verify that you didn't necessarily need a Richland County business license, but your business is within Richland County and you're licensed for it.
Okay, the next question, do you still need a copy of your lease if we work from home and rent our home? Can you clarify this for me?
If you are going to utilize any of the funds for rental purposes, if your business is within your home, yes, you're going to have to show a copy of your lease. Also, just to show us that you are actually here in Richland County.
Okay, last question. Does the business plan need to have a P&L and financial projection, or just an overview of your business plan?
At this moment, we're going to utilize the Canvas Lean business plan. So we want you to touch on that. If you, we're going to do some workshops so that you'll be more comfortable in producing your business plan. But we'd rather you put enough information so that we are able to get a screenshot of your business. We want to see how you plan on operating and what you project to be in your future interest for your business. That makes any sense.
All right. And if you own several businesses, can you apply for one? I wanted to say more than one. Well, if you own several businesses, can you apply for one, then one? I guess I want to say more than one grant.
If each of your businesses have its own separate business licenses, if your businesses have its own separate, I guess, EIN numbers and financial documentation, that should not be a problem. However, you cannot submit the same documentation for each business and call them a separate business.
Okay. Will we have to project how the funds will be used?
Yes. So there's going to be a place on the application, and even in your business planning, or you tell, giving us information on what you're going to utilize the funds for. Because whatever you're going to utilize the funds for, we kind of expect you to use it for that. So we don't want you to say, I'm going to use these funds to help me pay my rent, and then you take a vacation. That makes any sense? Okay.
Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna take one more question and we'll take the other questions at the end. Does the 6-month business operational requirement begin with the date of the business? With the date the business was actually registered with the state? Does the 6-month business operational requirement begin with the date the business was actually registered with the state?
Well, right now we're looking at your business license. So did you have a business license for 6 months? Or if you didn't get a business license within the 6 months, was your business functioning within that 6 months time? So if you have any other questions, contact the office and we can do a one-on-one with you.
Thank you so much, Anjanette. You can still put your questions into the chat box and we'll make sure we have staff that's monitoring the chat box. So we'll answer the questions for you, or you can just have your questions answered at the end of the presentation with Ms. Roshonda and Ms. Shanice. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Ms. Shanice Claykley. Shanice, good morning.
Hey, y'all, how are you? So glad to see all 63 of you on today. That's amazing, which means you are ready to fund your business. I mean, you have already had half the battle because you came here today. So give yourself a clap. Or if you do virtual, if you've been on virtual like we have been for the past 3 years, it's like this. It's like jazz hands. Yeah, you did it, you did it, you did it. Okay, so my name is Shanice Cleckley. I am a brand, I keep saying brand. Lord, what you trying to tell me? But I am a business strategist right here in South Carolina. I reside in Lexington, and little known fact, I'm actually getting ready to get an office space in Richland. Wink, wink to y'all, letting you know that I will be here to help you to be able to make the best pitch possible, okay? The best pitch possible. So my friend, the Rose Show, she is going to tell you how to make sure it's technically sound and you got it all together. I'm going to talk about your business in general and how to get you ready. So we listened to Anjanette and we're like, do I have that? Do I have that? Do I have that? You do have it, but let me tell you why you have it and where the information is, okay? So that you won't freak out and like, I don't know what this lady is talking about. So the first thing was a DUNS number, okay? What is a DUNS number? A DUNS number comes from Dun and Bradstreet. Dun and Bradstreet is basically like business credit. It's like the Business Credit Bureau. That's the best way to describe it, okay? So we all know about LLCs and incorporations and those type of things. What that does is when you're filling out your paperwork, we need to know that your business is an actual entity, meaning that you birthed it. And the only way that we know that you gave birth to it is by you registering with the state and either getting incorporation or LLC. That's an entity. Now, when you do sole propriety, yes, you are a business and it's between you and your CPA how you want to do it. But when we're talking about entities and EINs, we're talking about those people who have registered with the Secretary of State to make it a formal official entity of its own. So that's the birth of a business. The first you do is you think about it. So that's conception. The next thing you do is give birth to it. You register it at the Secretary of the State. You decide whether or not you're going to be an LLC or incorporated, S Corp, B Corp, C Corp, partnership, however you're going to do it. After you give birth to it, just like a baby, you got to go get a Social Security number. But for you, your Social Security number as a business is an EIN. All right. So you don't get that until after you've registered. So you get that EIN, and then the next thing you're going to do is, you know how you kind of go get, you grow up and you become a teenager, you get all these other things. We're going to get licensure. So that's your business license in Richland County, City of Columbia, wherever you're located. And if you're a retail person, you're going to get a retail license, and you're going to get something called a DUNS number. Now, that DUNS number is a totally separate number that's given to you by a company called Dun and Bradstreet, D-U-N and Bradstreet. Now, that number then is something that you're going to use in conjunction with your EIN number. Now, once you get that in conjunction with your EIN, you then take all of that information and you put it in this huge federal database called SAM. SAM.gov. Get it? Uncle Sam? Sam? I know y'all get it, right? So UncleSam.gov, but not Uncle Sam, but SAM.gov. And that means that you are preparing yourself for not only like federal contracts, but for grants. And we know that you for real about your business because you done told the government, you know, your mama told you go get a good government job. Yeah, that's what you're saying. You're telling the government, I am real. So I wanted to go over that foundational stuff before we get into the pitch aspect of it. So that's the paperwork that they're talking about. That's the things that they need you to have in place before you even get ready to do the business plan. That's foundational. Now, let's look at the business plan. In this business plan, you heard Anjanette talking about the one-page lean business canvas. All right. You're used to business plans. Business plans have like 55, 35 pages. But imagine if you can put everything about your business that you're thinking about on one page. One page. And what that one page will do is it has like 7 or 8 different components to get you to show how you're going to operate your business and how you're going to make it profitable. It's going to ask you about customer segments. You do not sell to everybody. You sell to a particular audience, okay? Although everybody can use your wonderful products, you sell to a particular audience. It's going to talk about finances. How you going to make your money? How do you receive your money? Do you use something other than Cash App? Are you using invoicing? It's going to tell you though, it's going to look at those things because everything is a paper trail. And when you're pitching and you're getting this, what they want to know is that you're going to be sustainable and that you're going to share love. We're not in business just to make money. We're also to share the love. All of you, all 62 of you, I'm going to keep saying 62. I know some of us work or help. We are a part of economic development for this county. With you, you can hire somebody and give them everything that they need. So we got to make sure you got it all set up. So it's like, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to use the money for? How are you going to use it? So you can use it for anything, which is the beauty of this grant is that you can use it for anything. The caveat is we want you to hire somebody. Now, don't get nervous about how am I going to hire somebody if I'm only getting $10,000? The Office of Small Business Opportunity, they're going to help you figure that out. There's so many different grants and programs and ways around it. Hiring your children, making sure you put yourself on payroll. There's ways around it. Getting interns, getting someone who can work those hours that you need to do at minimum wage. There's different things you can do. So do not stress about that. The other thing that I want to make sure that you understand is the finance part of it, okay? Because we are talking about money. Don't let the money scare you. Don't let you asking for money scare you. Money is just energy. And the way that you see the money is the way that it's going to come back to you. So if you see the money as a help, if you see the money as something that's going to build your business, if you see the money as this thing that's going to really help propel you to your next level, then that's what it's going to be. If you see filling out this paperwork is going to be a burden, then that's what it's going to be. And that's going to come across in your pitch because your words is what's going to help propel this. Yeah, you got all this paperwork. We've talked about that. You got it all down. But what we really want is to hear you say it, which means you got to have confidence. If you believe in your business, in the chat room, I need you to give me a number 1. In the chat room, number 1. If you believe in your business and you believe in what you're doing, in the chat room, give me number 1. All right. Yes, I see 1. I see triple 1, quadruple 1s. Yes, yes, yes. So now, next question. If you know that you are somebody's answered prayer, if you know that your business is going to help somebody else and that what you're doing, you're meant to do, let me get a number 2. Let me see a 2. All right. Okay. So you see all that energy that you got in that chat room? I need that energy on your pitch in your video. In that video, I want you to boldly say what you do. And when you fill out that paperwork that you have, that one page, is going to help you go through it. Now, Rashawn is going to give you those other tips, but I'm going to say how with confidence you can say, my name is Shanice Cleckley, and I own Smart Cookie Coaching. Smart Cookie Coaching, located in Lexington, South Carolina, serve entrepreneurs and business development throughout the world. My goal is to use this $10,000 to grow my staff so that I can serve more people. I would like to have an impact of affecting 1,000 entrepreneurs by the year 2024. And what this money is going to do is help put a seed in that. That is how confident I want you to be. Okay, that's what you got to do. Bring it out. Let me tell you what's going to happen. In my business, we do strategic planning. In my business, we do business development. We do curriculum. We train on digital skills. And through that, I charge my clients and then turn it back over to my business. So I'm telling them everything, how I do my business. How do I do it? What's in it? And if you're not clear on it, what this business plan will do for you, then you can't do the second part, which is the pitch. So focus on that paperwork. Focus on what the EIN is, putting down your one-page business plan, making sure that you know how you're making your money, reading the audience, telling them if they want us to in this grant, if they want us to get people to get hired, then talk about your plan for growth. Talk about what you're doing and put that in your business plan. All right. So these are my tips. This is how I wanted to help you with your business foundation and your solidification of your ideas and your business before you get to the fun part, which is getting in front of that camera. That's the fun part. Okay, so I'm going to turn it over to the First Lady of Visibility. She is going to help you to be able to get it all together, show your smile technically and internally. So I'm turning it over to the Rose Show with Rashonda Pratt.
Shanice, you're amazing. I feel like you should introduce me like that everywhere, to my children, when I'm coming down the stairs, when I'm going to Chick-fil-A. Like, you should follow me everywhere and introduce me like that. Can you guys give my friend a round of applause, Shanice Cleckley? She's absolutely amazing. Don't you love her information, her energy? And I always have to say this. She is one smart cookie. You guys get it? You see how I did that there? She's one smart cookie. There it is. So I am here to talk about this thing called video visibility. So a little background about me. I'm a former television news producer of 20 years. I know I don't look like it, but I've worked in television news for 20 years. I started my TV news job in the 4th grade. Yeah, they weren't hiring young, but my dad hired me. And what do I mean by that? Well, my mom and dad are from the beautiful country of Trinidad and Tobago. Shout out to any West Indians who may be on this right now, right? And when I was in the 4th grade, my dad told me, as an American citizen, it's my responsibility and duty to watch the news. So I'm totally going to date myself here and age myself. My friends were watching the Smurfs. I was watching Tom Brokaw and Peter Jennings. And there was only one TV. So dad always had control of the remote control. So I started and fell in love with television news and started my broadcast journalism career while I was a senior at Winthrop University, go Eagles, and worked across the Southeast in various TV stations. And in this setting in Columbia, South Carolina, worked at WIS and WLTX. 3 years ago, I decided to take a bet on myself and decided to leave the world of breaking news and have normal sleep hours, and decided that I was going to leave television news and take a bet on myself and really start to teach people how pictures and words together make the perfect marriage, and how you can really show up in your visibility and be seen, heard, and paid with media, live video or traditional media. So that's what I've been doing for the past 3 years. I'm really excited to talk to you all about this thing called video. But before we get into it, we got to have a little truth here. How many of you were completely nervous, thrown off? You felt nauseous in your stomach. You even thought about leaving the training when you heard that you're going to have to do a video. Go ahead and put a 1 in the chat here. How many of you were just like, oh snap, wait, there's a video? I thought I was just going to have to put some paperwork together. Okay, yeah, I see all the ones. Good. Okay, I see multiple ones. Okay, that means you were really nervous. Okay, I get it. So I want to just first talk about the mindset of visibility, and a mindset that's needed for this pitch competition, okay? What I want you to understand is, let's reframe what nervous really is, right? So when you're sitting here listening to the fact that you have to do a video about the business that you love, the business that you believe God gave you, the business that you know is the solution to your client's problem, that you are the answer. You believe that, right? So if you believe that, let's not look at nervous as a bad thing. Let's reframe it. And maybe the reason why you're nervous is you really want to show up and do a really great presentation. It's not nervous because I'm fearful. Nervous because I'm going to sound silly or stupid, or it's not going to work. I'm nervous because I really want to put my best face forward. So let me give you an example of that. I was talking a couple of years ago to a woman who was doing a lot of media at the time. And one of the things that she told me, she went to this television station to do an interview. And as she was sitting down, the photographer was miking her up, getting ready to do this interview. And she was visibly nervous, shaking. You know, you feel like you got cotton in your mouth, palms are sweaty. There's all kinds of things happening with your body that you probably never experienced before, because now you're about to do the TV interview. And the photographer told her that, what if your nervousness is just the fact of that you just want to show up well? It's not really fear. And she says, you're right. Maybe I'm nervous because I just want to do a good job. And fear has nothing to do with it. And then he told her this, and I vouched for it. He said, I think you should keep the nerves. And she said, really? He said, here's why. Because the nerves will drive you to always show up as your best self. See, when you get too comfortable, you're just kind of like lackadaisical. You're just kind of doing the thing. And working in television news for 20 years, I've worked with some of the best in the industry. Sonia Gant, Craig Melvin, Judy Gadsden, Darcy Strickland, Dondi Mercer-Plank, all of the best that you guys have seen, and even some of the national people. And one thing that I know is I still see them doing this before we start the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, hi, welcome to Friends at 5. Why? Because they still have the nerves, but the nerves are not fear. It's just that I want to show up and do my best. And so I want you to understand that we're going to reframe the fear. We're going to reframe the nerves. And it's just, I want to show up and do my best. Now, showing up and do your best is remembering that this is the thing you have to remember. It's one of my favorite Native American proverbs. And it says this: those who tell the stories rule the world. You have a story to tell. Your business has a story to tell that's going to rule some part of the world. So that means that if you don't tell the story, you're not really ruling, because facts tell, but stories sell every single time. Ladies and gentlemen, we're being sold stories every single day, every hour, every minute. And I want to sit here and tell you today that your story deserves to be told. It does. And you're the best person to tell your story because you know it better than anyone else. So when you're sitting down thinking about creating this pitch and this video, you have 5 minutes, but those are 5 powerful minutes, right? And so I want you to sit here first and think about your story and think about the hook. your story and the hook. And when I say the hook is, what's the interesting piece of your story that will suck people in? So when I tell my story, my brief story, I always talk about being in the 4th grade as a journalist and how my dad would make me watch the news, because some of you can either resonate with that or it's an interesting part of the story. It also speaks to why I'm passionate about media, because it was ingrained in me since the 4th grade. So when you think about your own story, do not despise your day of small beginnings. Do not despise the little things, because those little things make it really interesting. Wow, that's an interesting part of the story. And it helps to grab people in. So when you're sitting down doing your pitch, introduce yourself, but also think about what's that hook that you can really start with, right? So for me, it could look something like this. Hi, everybody. I'm Rashonda Pratt, known in the digital streets as the Rose Show Live. I have been doing journalism since the 4th grade. Yes, they were hiring people that early. Not really. It was my dad who put me on staff. And he told me this really powerful thing that I've used to be a driver in my business. He said, as an American citizen, it's my responsibility and duty to know what's going on in my country and my community. And one thing I've done as a video visibility coach and producer is help people tell their stories. You see that? Take the hook. Like if you're a baker and you got into baking because of your grandmother or your grandfather, listen, you need to tell that story. Crystal said it was flawless. Thank you, Crystal, because that was right off the dome. And I was hoping I wouldn't botch this in front of Pam Green. So thank you so much. So you want to make sure that you're going into what's the journey? What's the story? Why did you start this? Like, we get so far away from our why, and your why is the North Star that directs every single thing that you do. So why did you do that? Talk about it. Why did you start this? And if you need to, go deep into the why, deep into why did I start this? Not just because, well, I wanted something to do. No, I'm passionate about baking. My grandmother taught me this recipe. My mom taught me this recipe. And now I'm teaching it to the next generation. That's powerful. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? I'm just using this as an example, but it speaks to legacy. Do you understand that when I show up and work with clients, it's legacy from what my dad taught me in the 4th grade, right? You know, my dad thinks it's really cool when he sees me on TV. He's just like, oh, look, I turned on the news and I saw you on WIS. I said, Dad, your labor wasn't in vain. You know, right? So it's legacy. And people want to be a part of businesses, you ready for this, that are creating legacy. Put that in the chat, legacy. I'm creating legacy. So you want to think about what's your story and the hook. Now, when you're doing this, you want to keep it simple. Okay, the KISS method that we learned in journalism school. I'm sure you heard this many times. You want to keep it simple. One of the things I tell people is you have 5 minutes, but you don't have to use all 5 minutes. If it's going to turn into you rambling, then that's a waste of 5 minutes. But if you could come out the gate strong and powerful and do it in 3 minutes, and that's all you got to say, and here you're like, okay, I gave it all, then go with the 3 minutes. So keep it short, keep it simple, and keep it concise, okay? The other thing that you want to do is when you're sitting down to record this video, think about your space. Think about, where do I want to record this video? So I'm going to think again about, I'm going to use the baker as an example. If you have a bakery and you're doing this pitch competition to fund your bakery, shoot your video in the kitchen. Create the backdrop that will speak to your story if you have the capabilities of doing that. Now, if you are a consultant and you work in a PR company and you don't necessarily have a background that speaks to your story, then one of the things that you can do, my friend, is find a space in your home. Find a space in your home that is not cluttered, that the background is not distracting, and just shoot there. Now, here in my home, we have turned a major part of the floor of our home into a studio. So in this studio, you guys can still hear me? Okay. In this studio, we have we have about 3 studios in this one space. So we have like a green screen, we have another wall, we have this wall behind me, okay? But before I started here, I didn't have all this fancy stuff, okay? Crystal, all I had was a message in my heart and a white wall, and that worked just fine. So if you have a plain wall in your house or a wall that is not too distracting or busy, shoot it there. You know, sometimes you can create your own studio by really just going. I'm going to tell the secrets here. I'm going to tell the secrets. You could go to Walmart and get a shower curtain. Did you hear what I said? I actually met a client that did that. And I was like, oh, this is clever. She put a rod up and she would slide it out and slide it back in. I was like, this is cool. Now, don't get the shower curtain with the goldfish on it, but I'm just saying, if you wanted something that was aesthetically pleasing, that speaks to what you're doing, you can get something like that, or just use a wall in your house to speak to what you're doing. Okay. Make sense? Okay. Awesome. Love it. Okay. Now, along with hearing you or creating this presentation, we have to hear you and see you. That's a part of the visibility equation. You have to be seen and heard. And a lot of times you don't have to go out and get all of this fancy equipment to be seen and heard. So let's talk about audio. Many of the smartphone devices that we have, okay, whether you are team iPhone or Android, this is not what this is about, team iPhone, but whatever team you're on, it has great audio on this smartphone. So you can literally shoot your pitch video on your smartphone. I know people who shoot videos and movies and edit them on their smartphone. You don't have to go out, I gotta go get all this equipment and make all this investment. You don't have to do that. Just make sure you're recording in a place that's quiet and you can use your phone. Or I am on my Mac computer. Right? Quality is pretty clear. I do, if you look at any of my videos online, they're mostly done on my Mac computer. I am a little bit a part of the Apple cult. I believe Shanice is as well. I make no apologies. Okay, so you can use your computer. So that means you can use your web camera. You just want to make sure that it's not grainy and that it's clear. So let's do this. One of the things that you want to make sure that you do before you use your phone or before you use your devices, you want to take a microfiber cloth like this and you want to clean the screen off of your phone. Why? Because you're talking to your kids, you're ordering DoorDash, it's greasy from your ear. This is just my life. I know you're not ordering DoorDash. You're doing all the things. So you want to make sure that you're cleaning off your phone and you're cleaning right there. See that? The screen of your web camera or your computer. So that way we can see you, that you don't look hazy and fuzzy and grainy. We want to be able to see you. So you want to make sure you're doing that. Okay. If you're going to record it in a place that's crowded, hey, put on your headphones here. I have on mine because I have a very rambunctious 4-year-old. I shouldn't call her rambunctious, but she's earned her nickname. I'm the Rose Show Live. She's Baby Show. I really work for her. So before she comes on here and starts talking in the background, I'm going to isolate the sound. Okay. So you want to make sure that you're doing those kinds of things. Now, talking about being seen, you want to frame your shot where there's enough headroom. See this? Not too close. No under the nose shots, for the love of all that's holy. Erica and Pam and Anjanette and all of the staff better not tell me that they got videos where you guys shot it under here. We don't want it. You heard what I said? I'm going to say what they're not going to tell you. They're going to tell you nicely. I'm going to tell you straight up. Don't you dare. Don't you shoot under here. It's not attractive. Okay? All of this, it's not attractive. You're having a conversation on this video. So you want to shoot it straight on, right? So you want to position your camera like this, phone like this, right? And I like to shoot in landscape. So you take up the whole screen, right? So you want to do it like this, not under the nose, not under the chin, not side of the face, because, this is my good side. Baby, your whole face is your good side. So just let us see all of your face, all of it. And you want to shoot straight like this. And then you want to make sure that your lighting is good, right? You want to make sure that you have light coming on your face. So there's a couple of things that you can do for that. So I have a ring light in my office here because I believe when I go to heaven, I'm taking this ring light with me. Okay. This is God's light 2.0. I'm just saying. So this ring light, you could order it. It's a big ring light. Ladies, if you ever gotten your makeup done by a professional MUA, it's the ring light that they use. You can order it off Amazon. But if you don't have $180 for a ring light, I have this. I make this investment because I do a lot of video. I do virtual TV interviews. I do a lot of video. So you can go to some place like Ross. Look at this. You can get it at Walmart too. This ring light was from Ross and it was $12.99. And it works really well. Here's what the purpose of a ring light is. You see, it lights the ring of your face, right? You want to get one like this. I know they have the clamp lights. Those are only good for taking selfies. Don't invest in that. It's a waste of money, honestly. It's only good for doing like selfies. But if you want to make this $12.99, you can get them at Best Buy, Walmart. All of these things are available. You can get a miniature ring light like this, or you can get a taller one. You don't have to spend $180. And when you get this ring light, you want to make sure it's in front of you, lighting your entire face. That's what this ring light is doing here. But if you're like me, when I first started, I didn't have a ring light, and I was just starting my business, and I didn't have $180. But you know what? I had God's natural light. So right here in my office, I have 2 windows in front of me. So if you don't have a ring light, right, you want to have all that light in front of you. Like I'm going to use Larry Johnson, for example, if you guys are on page 1. I know there's a lot of people in here. So Larry Johnson, how you doing? Just wave. You're not in trouble. You're not in trouble. So you see Larry behind him has all of that great natural light behind him. So if he was doing his pitch competition video, I would tell him to turn around and have all that light shining on his face and not behind him. Now, I know what happens. A lot of people, yeah, that's great light. I can't hear you, Larry. Talk to me. Unmute. You're still muted, Larry. Come and talk to me. Unmute.
I said, I thought you was going to talk about all the junk I got back there behind me.
No, I can't see your junk. I didn't see it, but now that you called it out, I'm just kidding.
All the dead plants, all the baseball bats, all the tennis rackets.
No, I don't see any of that, Larry. All I see is great lighting. That's all I see, Larry.
Maybe some chicken bones and stuff like that.
No, just great lighting. Thank you, Larry, for being the example. So now a lot of times when people do their lighting, they think I'm going to put the light behind me because of course that'll make me look good. Wrong. So if you have light behind you and you don't balance it out in front of you, if you're African-American, you look darker. If you're Caucasian or the lighter hue, you end up looking like a ghost or from the Casablanca film. It looks very like airy, and that you don't want that. You want great lighting. You want to be able to see you and hear you. Okay. And so you want to make sure that you always have the light in front of you and look for those places where you have great light. Listen, you may just need to like go outside and record it because that's great lighting, but always have light in front of you, never on the side of you, never behind you, because it's not going to work well. Okay. Now, one thing that I want you to do before you submit it is practice recording your video. Practice telling your story. Practice putting together that pitch. Practice feeling comfortable in front of the camera, okay, before you go ahead and hit submit. You may need to practice and record it a couple of times and envision yourself talking to a real person. When I started doing live video, many of you may not believe this, but I did not have camera confidence. I worked in television news for 20 years and I was terrified of the camera. I didn't like how I looked on camera and I didn't like my voice. So I was like a robot and a deer in headlights. It looked like something like that. In fact, if you go back and look at some of my first YouTube videos, Shanice, it's like watching paint dry. It's terrible. I keep it up there just for my own, like, Lord, you have done a work. We have come a long way. Okay. But what I'm saying is you'll never get better if you don't practice it. We want to hit the record button and instantly be Darcy Strickland. It's not going to happen. And so one of the things that Darcy even tells new reporters is this. She says, imagine when you're telling that story or doing your first live shot that you're talking to your best friend or granny. There's no wonder that Ben Tanner for years used to give the weather report to his granny. Why? Because he was nervous. Feels better when I feel like I'm talking to a real person, right? And Darcy always delivers the news like she's talking to her granny, always. So think about when you're sitting here to record and you're getting ready to do this. Don't think about Erica. Don't think about Pam. Don't think about the team. Think about, I'm talking to my best friend about my business who loves me. I'm talking to my granny who supported me. I'm talking to the friend, my spouse, whoever that is that supported me in this business, who told me to go do it. And here's the thing. If you don't have someone like that in your life, I want you to think about me. Yep. If you don't have anybody like that in your life, I want you to think about me. Think about, I'm sitting here telling Rashonda about my business because guess what? I'm cheering you on. I'm excited that you're here and I'm proud of you for taking the time to say that your business matters and you showed up here today. So before we get into Q&A, I just want to remind you that your visibility is power, my friend, and you deserve this year to be seen, heard, and paid. I'm cheering you on. Turning back over to you, Erica.
Thank you so much. This has been exciting. If you enjoyed this, if you got a lot of nuggets, wave at me, wave your hand, put a thumbs up. I just want to say thank you so much, Rashonda. Thank you so much, Shanice. This has been powerful. This has been awesome. I see Cecilia saying powerful. Thank you. Deandra Scott saying yay. Thank you. Loving the energy. Awesome words. So we got some good nuggets being dropped into the chat. Before we end, I want to turn it over to Diane Lucy. Diane Lucy is with our Richland County Library, and she will talk to you about some awesome programs that they have going on with the library. Diane?
Thank you, Erica. I just have a comment to make. Rashonda Pratt is ending her Entrepreneur in residency with Richland Library. She has been absolutely amazing. And in partnership with Shanice, they are just phenomenal women. We love both of them very much. They really help the small business community, and we all owe them a round of applause. In addition, just to let you know that our new entrepreneur in residence will be onboarding, and she will begin her residency on February 1st. So I'd like you to stay tuned to find out who that wonderful person is, and information will be coming out shortly. So again, thank you, Erica and Anjanette and Pam from OSBO for allowing us to enjoy this collaboration, and especially Rashonda and Shanice for their wonderful work. They live their passion for the small business community, and I think it was evident in today's presentation. So thank you, ladies. We love you.
Thank you so much, Diane. So I'm seeing in the chat box, who's brave enough to do a 3-minute pitch about your business? First person raise their hand. TQ Capers, are you saying yes, you're brave enough? You wanted to give us a 3-minute pitch about your business really quick? Where is TQ Capers? Okay, I'm gonna go to Ellen. Ellen, I see you up. Go ahead, Ellen, go ahead and unmute, and you got 3 minutes.
Hello, and let me take this hand down. Thank you so much. I just wanted to get the nerves out, so I'm taking action, Rashonda. So a little bit about, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Ayla Ellen. I'm a single mom. I'm a God girl. I drink coffee for the creamer, but most importantly, to you all, I am a digital marketing and organic social media strategist. And I help overworked beauty professionals elevate into vacationing CEOs by helping them to transform their social media and to elevate their digital marketing strategies so that they can go from overworked to overpaid. So a little bit about my vision in my business is, let me calm down because the nerves are here. But I'm gonna use them, Rashonda. Thank you. So a little bit about my vision is I want to elevate the voice and the image of the beauty profession and their industry. I believe so much. I remember so much when I was a beauty professional myself. so much so that it was the third grade, and it was time for you to announce what it is that you would like to do. Who do you want to become? And at that time, I was so into makeup, and my mom had a really crazy accident, and it led me into the emergency room. So I had these two loves, and I saw these beautiful people helping my mother. And so I wanted to help people, but I also wanted to play in makeup. So we came up with the solution of dermatology. Fast forward, college, going into college, I really pursued esthetician, and I really pursued makeup as a part-time while I was in college. But I found a lot of struggle. I found that I didn't have any business practices. I didn't know how to acquire clients with consistency and predictability. So when I found myself pregnant with my now 5-year-old, I had to make a decision. Do I leave the career that I started to build? And I tell you guys, I was like doing magazines, I was doing different photo shoots, and I was building a little bit, but it was not consistent. So do I leave? And most beauty professionals have this deciding factor in their career. Do I leave to start a business? Do I leave to go into corporate to gain consistent income, or do I continue down this struggle hustle? And so I made the decision to leave corporate. While I was in corporate, I learned a lot of different strategies. I learned corporate sales, I learned corporate strategies, and I would sit down as a 20-something across the table from these presidents, CEOs, VPs, HR managers, and I would look at their business and help them to identify growth opportunities. And so now the pandemic allowed me to step into that full time. So I went full time. I gave up my side hustle hat and went full time into my business to help transition those corporate strategies to beauty professionals through a digital marketing perspective. So that's a little bit about me and my business.
All right. Thank you so much. Shonda or Shanice, do you want to give some feedback?
I'm going to let Shanice go first.
Please.
Because I'm just over here like, what an amazing story. Jeez.
I know. I was thinking the same thing. Stay off mute. We talking to you. Okay. I love your story, and I love that you used your experience and principles in order to continue what you're doing. I would say that when you do this, because I know this was off the fly, remember to get to the transferable skills a little earlier in your story. So still tell about you love makeup and you love what you were doing, and definitely talk about what your vision is for your business, because you said it, but you never really got to the total vision yet because you got wrapped up in your story. So just when you were incorporated and when you start formulating how you're going to do it, those things, because you hooked me when you said, I love makeup. I've always loved makeup. Started when I was in the third grade, that kind of thing. And then going into when I became a beauty professional, I saw a lack in this, because that's what's going to really pull them in, is that you're solving a problem for the client. And then go into how you actually have corporate skills that you learned in order to transfer the business, because that's going to bring your credibility in. And that's what they're going to listen for, is the credibility. Other than that, you have all the pieces of everything right there.
I agree.
The last thing would be, tell me how you do the strategy when you do it. Do you do consultations? Are you going out to do stuff? Just briefly, you don't have to do a lot. It's like, and the way that I serve my clients is I do week-long consultations. I do invoicing, whatever you do, just put that in there a little bit. And I think you'll have the meat of everything. I mean, really, you do. You got it all. And you have flawless skin. I mean, it's like amazing.
Well, listen, she just got a new client because someone in the chat said, listen, please inbox me because I need your skin. Like, seriously.
I'm serious. Like, her skin is like amazing. And them eyebrows are fire. So you already got it, of what you're doing. So I
would add one other thing too to that, Shanice. I love everything that Shanice said. One thing I would say too is, and I have found this particularly in my work of working with women, take ownership of your stuff. Take ownership of your credibility, working in corporate, all of those things. Do not shrink your value. Do not shrink your experiences. Be okay with that, because I think so many times we feel like it's being braggy. I mean, like, no, who else better to tell your story but you? They don't know unless you tell them. So be okay with standing tall, right? And saying who you are, what you've accomplished, what you've done. Stand in that.
And we also have Victor
I never
saying,
heard the name of your business.
yeah.
I know you were nervous and you're using it, but it's like,
Yeah.
what's the name of it? What is it?
AE Elevated. So Ayla Ellen Elevated. I help beauty professionals elevate their businesses.
And
Ayla, put it in the chat box, because I think there's a lot of interesting information here, and we're all loving your beautiful skin. We want to have beautiful skin like that too. So contact information, please.
Okay.
And Ayla?
Yes.
Scrunch down a little bit. Down a little bit more. Down a little bit more. Right there. Right there. Yeah. See how you now look a little different in your camera, because it was kind of like cutting off like this.
Okay. So I need some.
But now I
right
can
here.
see all of you and your hair.
And pull out a little bit more too, because you got a great background there.
You do.
It speaks to beauty. So, I mean, let that be a part of your background. Like, seriously, you got a sign that says glam office. I'm like, well, gosh, I want a glam office too. I mean, let that.
I got a whiteboard.
That's about it.
Let me turn my screen.
Okay.
So, yeah, I would definitely do that.
Okay. Will do. I need some books to keep it sturdy right here. Okay.
That looks good. That's all right. You're gonna have a stand. You're gonna get your stand.
All right. Thank you, ladies. So we have Victor. Victor, where are you?
Before we go to Victor, Erica, there's a question in here. What tools should we use to post the pitch? Is it via YouTube or through the website within the application?
It would be through the website in the application. You'll have to upload it into the Neighborly application.
All right, can I give you mine? Can I give you mine?
I'll call on them. We got Victor, who was up next.
Oh, okay, all right.
Victor, go ahead.
Yes, good morning. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you.
Yes, my business name is DCT Transportation LLC. That stands for Dream Come True. Actually, back home from where I'm from, which is Lynchburg, South Carolina, there was very poor opportunity and limit to what you can do. So I started, and I got a vision in my mind, and I wanted to serve purpose all across the world. So I got in the trucking business, which is transportation. And I got a 26-foot box truck. And what I wanted to do is take my vision and make dreams come true for all riders throughout the nation, throughout the country, and just not only make dreams come true, but just provide the opportunity to people that is lacking for all riders, get underpaid and equal opportunity to different people. So that was my vision. And I started when I moved to Richland County. I wanted to extend my business so that I can get in a bigger market just to make dreams come true, basically. And I was able to, during the pandemic, when I realized that my vision wasn't even to make $10,000, I started out with zero, because I know that the number zero has something in common with every business. That when I wasn't able to make $100, and I wasn't able to make $1,000, so what I wanted to do was create a lot of resource and relationship. And when I did that, I realized that I already won. So from this point on, now I'm just able to, I just want to be able to get more commercial equipment and just make dreams come true to all the little girls and boys and everybody across the nation, and hope that my impact, hope that this video and everything that I do impact people around me so I can spread the wealth. And I just want to say I really appreciate this opportunity just to be in the group chat among these people, so I can create. Today that I have learned something big. I have created another family, relationships, and whatever else, by the way. So that's just my story.
Thank you, Victor.
I love your story. Shanice, I'm going to start first because Victor, I love your story because I'm familiar with Lynchburg. My husband and I used to live in Bishopville, the big city of Bishopville. So your story resonates with me on many levels. One of the things that I think is really interesting about your story is, especially when you said it's called Dreams Come True, using
ma'am.
that as what they call literation. So introducing yourself and saying, as a transportation company, one of the things that we want to do is open up opportunities to drive dreams. See that? Drive dreams.
Yes,
And so
ma'am.
what I want to encourage you to do, and then I'm a tag team Shanice in here, is I want to encourage you to define what those dreams are. Specifically, what is it that is it that you want to, especially in that area, is it that you want to open up opportunities to help other young people use a skill to become a driver themselves, to start their own company or business? What is that dream? So I'm going to encourage you to dig deeper into that and really hone in on that, and not make it so obscure, but make it very focused and detailed on what that is so people understand. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Appreciate
Shanice,
it.
tagging you in.
Okay, thank you. I had no idea you lived in Bishopville, Rashonda.
Yes.
I spent all my summers in Bishopville.
Girl, we'll talk offline.
Okay, great. Victor, I know where you live too. So I'm gonna have to tell you, I'm gonna need you to, be a little bit more nurturing. Just a little. Because you have the passion, but it's like you're scared to bring it out because you got that man G voice. And that's a good voice. I like that G voice. But I'm gonna need just a little bit of excitement in the G voice. You don't have to be as giddy as me, but just a little bit more, just a little bit. Secondly, I normally don't tell people this, but you had like an amazing point that I'm like, if you allow me, I can use it. Everybody has a zero in the business. That blew me away. It's like, oh my God, everybody has a zero. So I would actually start your pitch with a question. Did you know zero is the only thing that is shared by every entrepreneur? And yes, I want to take with dreams do come true. I'm driving dreams from taking people from zero to infinity. That kind of thing. And you actually mentioned your points by helping with livable wage. You said you want to pay them a livable wage and have a better wage. You want them to be able to, own what a career is. So you have all of it in your pitch. But I'm just going to tell you, Victor, I'm stealing it. I'm actually borrowing it. The first 5 times, I'm going to say, Victor told me, that after that is mine. Just letting you know. So, but that is amazing. And starting with that. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, but you really have it all. I would just put a little bit more, I don't want to say sensitivity, it's connectivity. That's what it is. Because you're very black and white and matter of fact with your facts, that I need to see a little bit more emotion to understand so that you can have that perfect combination. Okay?
Thank you.
And Larry, go ahead and drop your business name, contact information in the chat box also. Promote yourself. All right, we have LaTanya Walker. You're up next. After LaTanya, then we'll have Larry. So Larry, you're on deck.
Good morning, everyone. Hopefully my face is not too close or back, and also my camera go in and out. Today is actually my birthday, so I was actually
happy birthday, LaTanya.
Thank you so much. But the name of my business is Curtis Logistics Systems. The same thing as Brother Victor. Thank you so much. We do need to share information. Curtis Logistics System is actually going to be a 3-unit transportation logistic company. I'm going to have last mile, final mile, on-demand cargo freight, 26-foot box truck, as well as straight box truck freight, as well as semi 18-wheeler freight. And the reason why I named the business Curtis Logistics System, my uncle was killed. My uncle Curtis was killed in a trucking accident in 2006. And when my mother died in 1991, he actually took care of me and my brother and my sister off a trucking salary. And right now, that's one of the major factors that we have now, I think, within the nation with transportation logistics and the supply chain. So definitely what I would like to do is continue to work on certification as well as registration with something called CanusMex, which is Canada, the United States, as well as Mexico, and to be able to, I guess, get a fleet definitely in the future to help others to actually drive. I love to drive. I've driven to New York. I've driven to Texas. I have driven to Mississippi. I've driven to Hampton, Virginia, Tennessee. So I love to drive, but also helping others to drive as well, to want more, to do more. And this is my dedication to my uncle. People may say what they want to say about truckers or truck driving. If we look at everything on our shelves, hanging in our stores, anything we receive actually comes from truck drivers. And I do believe that. So my goal and my return to him is to actually help others. I used to see my uncle actually put his trucking uniform in the dry cleaners. He had a boot shining kit for his shoes that he took pride in being a trucker. So I would be the first female in my family actually to have an interest in trucking. So I'm really, really excited. And thank you all so much for this day, because I needed it. Also happening on my birthday, yes, but I really, really needed the information. So thank you all so much for giving me the chance and the opportunity for sharing my story. Thank you.
That was right on time, LaTondra.
Yeah, that was beautiful. That was such a great story. And I was over here like, there's so many great pieces of that story. As a journalist, I'm like, man, this is a good story. You know, your uncle and the fact of you being a female. And I love how you put in what's happening in the world right now in the trucking industry. I believe that's the pitch. That's the lead, as we say in TV. Like, that's the thing that you flow with. Shanice, what do you think?
I was thinking the same thing. You act in every aspect that you said, you talked about your future goal, what you plan to do to make the money. You talked about where the passion comes from. I think just rearranging it would probably be your most beneficial. And I would love for you to use your Uncle Curtis as the theme throughout. Okay, starting with saying, my uncle in 1991, my mother passed away, and I went to live with my Uncle Curtis. And my Uncle Curtis was a truck driver, and he raised us on a truck driver salary. In the world today, truckers are needed throughout the country, because without truckers, this. And now taking the family legacy as a female truck driver and owner, my goal is to have semis, box trucks, and such and such and such and such, to be able to go through Canada, United States, and Mexico to do this, and this. Currently, this is what I'm doing. My future is to do this. And that would tie it all together of what you need.
Yes.
It would tie it all together. But you had all of it. And even if you wanted to do a personal, more nurturing aspect to it, you could even bring in, and I'm just like my Uncle Curtis, who put his trucking outfit in the dry cleaner and spit shine his shoes. We're going to give you spit shine quality service. You know, you can even add him into that, who showed you about quality service and customer service, because ain't nobody gonna see you driving in the truck. So why in the world are you getting going to the dry cleaner? But he did so much to show you to have excellent care. But that would then show that you have learned work ethic. And then as someone is listening to it, they'll grab hold to it and say, oh, well, she knows all this. She's gone into it. It's been a part of her life. That would be my, my recommendations. And for you truck drivers, just please make sure that you continue to haul toilet paper to the store. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
We
do not want toilet paper localists like in 2020 and 2019. Just continue to put that in the back of your trucks. Thank you so much.
Thank you both. Thank you.
And happy birthday, LaTondra. Enjoy your day. All right, so now we will have Larry Johnson. He's been anxious and waiting. Take it away, Larry.
You're on mute, Larry.
Unmute, Matt, Larry.
Can you hear me?
We got you.
Hello, my name is Larry Johnson. I'm the founder and creator of iRide, a mobile rideshare app exclusively for college and high school students. From 2015 to 2019, over 5,000 sexual harassment and sexual assault cases was reported throughout North America. And this trend is likely to double when it comes to 2022 and 2023. Consumers book, how the rideshare industry works, consumers book rides with mobile rideshare companies. And most of the time, these consumers are riding with unknown strangers, your niece, your daughter, your wives. iRide eliminates students riding with unknown strangers. iRide was founded by students for students, and this eliminates students riding with people that they don't even know. They're riding with fellow students, and students book rides and have an opportunity to make money with the students that sign up on the mobile app. Like I say, iRide is not available to the general public. All riders and drivers must have a college EDU email address to sign up, or a high school district email address to sign up. We are trying to build the largest mobile rideshare app throughout the United States. And students riding with students, students riding with students is a new concept that other rideshare apps, students riding with students is another it's a concept that other rideshare apps don't have in the industry. Also, iRide give each driver and each student a one-time passcode in order for them to get in the driver car. Whereas a couple of years ago, we had a student at the University of South Carolina downtown in 5 Points, and she got in the wrong car. She got in a person car that wasn't that mobile rideshare driver. And iRide eliminates that, because time a student gets in the car, the driver have to give them the one-time passcode, or the rider have to give the driver a one-time passcode in order for that driver to get paid. So we're asking for a $10,000 grant, seed money, in order to make iRide a household name throughout the United States. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry.
Larry, as a journalist, we love, and thank you for stepping out to do this, your pitch. We love statistics, but you want to make sure that when you're using statistics that you could quantify it. So when you were talking about that large number, in my mind, I was thinking, well, how many of those were actually cases where someone was harassed or assaulted, that kind of thing. I love the fact that you referenced the young lady at USC and what happened with the Uber driver and how that made some changes with Uber. But we had to wait so long to hear that story. So I think it's starting there and bringing back to recollection that story and the connection to what this does, to what the app does. Or even if you have a personal story, a personal experience, sharing something like that. So I think it's going back and starting with that statistic or that story of that USC student right off the bat, and then going into the other part. Shanice?
Okay, yes.
I would agree too. And because you, especially you, are competing with more national brands on what you're doing, I would definitely focus on what makes you so unique. Because I don't want that when they hear your pitch that they tune out because they're saying, well, we already have Uber. Or they'll say, we already have Lyft, and you can put a passcode in Lyft. You can put a passcode in Uber. Why would we want to give to him? Is that really sustainable? So focus on your unique ability, which would be, these are students or people who have just that email, that it may only be, it's just for a particular school. It's just for a particular area.
It's not all over. So, your unique differentiator. And that's also in your one-page business plan, where you must put down what makes you unique. Other than the fact of course, all of you are unique, we have to put down that, yes, you do have competition. And I have to give you I'll give everybody, not just you, Larry, everybody 2 hard loves. I'm usually very up and beat, but I'm gonna give you a good hard love. Number 1, there's nothing unique, there's nothing new under the sun. So whether or not you think that you're brand new, it's somewhere. You might not have ever seen it, but you can always improve on it. And number 2, if I hear y'all say trying one more time, I'm going to come through this screen. And I don't know what I'm going to do because I don't subscribe to violence. But holy hands might be held. Nobody is trying. We are doing. Take trying out of your vocabulary, especially when you're pitching, because it seems like you're not together. Remember, that's not confident. We're going to use confident speech. It's no, what I'm trying to do, or what I want to do is, my goal is to, my mission is to, as we grow into, don't even say, I don't know. I don't know if you don't know that. Don't say, I don't know. Say, I have a working knowledge. Working knowledge means you're going to learn. Okay? Don't say, I don't know. I mean, unless you really just don't know. But if you got a little bit of knowledge about it, say, I have a working knowledge and I'm working to learn more about that subject. So your speech and the words that you say really are going to dictate what you do. So we not trying, we not shoulda, none of that. None of that. Okay?
I'm thinking about, no, it's a definite.
About, what I want to do, none of that. That is not action speak. That's what we're going to call it. Ooh, let's do a live on that, y'all. We're going to call it action speak.
Yeah.
Action speak is not wanna, coulda, shoulda, tryna. It is, I'm doing it, I've done it, I'm working at it, I'm learning. All right? I need to have everybody put a hand up. It's in reaction. If you agree, at least since we got time to do this pitch for the next week, nobody say tryna. Yes? Yes? Okay, so I got your Zoom oath that you will not say tryna, wanna, coulda, shoulda, or I'm gonna. None. Gotcha. Okay, we got Zoom oath. You are bound by the Zoom oath.
All right, so we have time for 2 more. We will have Shanita Brown, and after Shanita, we will have Whitley.
Hi, everyone. My name is Shanita Brown. I'm a licensed massage therapist and massage clinic owner here in Columbia, South Carolina. I've been practicing massage therapy for the last 15 plus years. I've been working in healthcare since 2003. I've traveled along and studied abroad, and I have been advocating for domestic violence awareness, as well as advocating for massage therapy in the integrated healthcare space. And so now that we are among COVID, it has brought me the opportunities to be an educator. I've always been an educator to my clients about the benefits of massage therapy, but now is the time to be an educator for the community, our providers, as well as my clients. The need for our services is based on the stress factor effects of COVID, the health factor effects of COVID, and how they continue to pretty much put the strain on our communities. We're seeing these while, I myself right now am waiting to get my antibody test done, the overwhelmed staff, as well as the people that are waiting to get the test. And where massage therapy comes in on the front line is because, again, we have 3 different laws on our federal books right now that is understanding the impact of how massage is going to help with pain management and stress management. Again, as a well-seasoned massage therapist, my goal is to be the education piece and the mediator between students, providers, and clients. And when I say clients, most of the time that is consistent of what's called patients, residents, and customers. I rarely use the word customers, but I've learned that a customer can also be someone who doesn't necessarily need massage treatment, but they need products, where it may be items such as a massage gun or a CBD ointment or an analgesic ointment or some medical equipment that again is a massage tool that they may need in a home health setting. A lot of our occupational therapies and massage therapies are going to home-based services as well, or on-site services as well in a corporate setting. We also see this need with our athletes as well as our student athletes and our students, because again, they're in a different environment, in a different world with a different demand of stress levels, to where again, they have to be on a lot more. Like I'm learning to be on the video aspect, because again, I'm more of the behind the scenes synergist, so to speak. I like to not be seen, but see the work get done. And so I'm usually doing whatever it takes to get the work done, to get the laws changed, to get the education out there. But now I'm learning, like it was expressed at the beginning of the workshop, that visibility is important.
All right, Rashonda. Thank you, Shanita.
Shanita, thank you for your work that you do. And just as much as we have our essential workers and things on the front line, so are you. And I think that's really that's the story. I love that you introduced yourself. I love that you introduced yourself and you talked about your skills. I'm going to say lead with the story. And the story is talking about what's present here that people can understand. So the fact that we have essential workers who are stressed out. I was just having a conversation, Shanita was there, with a journalist, overwhelmed. Mm-hmm. And people need a break. And so, you know, we did this one time, Shanice, I think at another, and I don't know if this was you, Shanita, we were in person, we were talking about who's taking care of the essential worker. I think that's, we talked to somebody about starting a pitch like that. Like, who's taking care of the essential worker? I am. And then introducing yourself. And then, was that you, Shanita?
I think it sounds familiar.
Yeah,
I mean, I definitely, it sounds very familiar.
So we were talking to somebody about that. I don't know if that was in the virtual or when we did this live, but either way, I think it's starting with that story of what's presently happening. People could identify with that and talk about that story, and then start there and then back into your experience and what you do. Shanice?
I wanted to clarify with your company.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I agree with you totally, Rashonda, of all of it. Let's see. I would start with that front line, definitely. Just like Rashonda said, your pitch really focus on the stress relief, being overwhelmed, and the healing aspect of what you do. I would definitely make sure that's in there while you're doing it. Let's see. Oh, you mentioned domestic violence, which is a great attribute, but since it did not have to do anything with your business and you're not focusing on that base of people in your business, I wouldn't say it. It gets us to know who you are, but the rest of your pitch was more so of the benefits of it when it has to do with COVID. So if you are going to include it, then make sure you do it throughout, or you can say, I really would like to, I am focusing on patients who have dealt with frontline workers, domestic violence, COVID stress. And if you want to list it, that would definitely be a part of it to make sure that you have it. Yeah, that's the big thing. So, but you have all the pieces together with the story of it. But the lead, just when you're leading, I would lead with that hook.
I have one question. How would you recommend that I add in the domestic, because actually the domestic violence is a piece where, again, a lot of these women are leaving their financial support. and starting a new career in healthcare at times when I work with them. And so they've either done shadowing or on-the-job training. And so it's more like empowerment as well as job training.
Well,
So
for this kind of pitch, if you're going to do that, because you didn't mention it in your pitch, but if you're going to make that as a part of your business model, then I would say, as a massage therapist, there are X number of aspects in my business model. I am an educator to show other people how to use massage therapy as economic development. I am also educating with the community to let them know about stress and health. And then I still continue the services of a massage therapist. So you can bring it in that way. And then as you're talking about it, say that the education component goes into community education as well as business development education. So you can do both in that way. So that's how I would bring it in. Other than that, because you can reshape your pitch so many ways. Just make sure that when you mention it, it becomes not just this happenstance thing that you said.
Let me just add to that too, Shanice. Shanita, sorry, a lot of S's. What you want to make sure is, and what Shanice is talking about here is that it's a good thing, but you don't want it to be confusing, right? Right. So, because what happens is if people are confused people do nothing. So what you want to make sure is that it's streamlined, like Shanice just gave you, that it fits into the pitch and that it kind of makes sense with what you're doing. And so being clear about that. Okay.
How can I schedule one-on-ones with you both?
Sure. Oh, you go first, Shanice. I mean, I'm available. I'm on social media at the Rose Show Live, and I'll put my complimentary booking link in the chat.
Okay. Thank you.
And I'll do the same thing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for you guys' energy and your expertise and time today.
Now, I have two more love things for everybody, not just Shanita, just two more love things. Number one, be okay with cutting yourself off. Don't think that you have to fill up the entire time, because it goes into my number two love information is when you don't cut yourself off, okay, you look thirsty. That's the only way to say it. You look like you're trying too hard. and you look like you're selling the thing you want to do is to sell your value, not convince somebody that you're great. You already know you're great. You already know what you have. Just show them what you got. But actually, Rashonda Pratt told me this, and I'm going to, this is one that she told. Actually, her mama told her. And ever since she said this, I remember it. Only a dog is called to the table last. Meaning, remember, you're not a dog. You don't need nobody's scraps. So therefore, you are the first. So you don't have to convince anybody at all. Okay? You don't have to convince them. What you're doing is sharing your value. You're letting them recognize you, because this is the only way that they got to see your wonderful self. So we're not going to be thirsty. We're going to be valuable.
I love that. And listen, I'm gonna have to tell Mama Joan that she got quoted here, because I'm gonna tell her, Mom, you were quoted today during a workshop. She would find that I'm going to see her today, so she would
good.
So I'm looking at Mary Holloway's post. She said, dogs come when they're called, cats come when they feel like it. I thought that was so cute. So, okay, Whitley, you're our last person. And again, Rashonda and Shanice, can you put your contact information into the chat box? So if anybody wants to schedule one-on-ones with you, they'll know exactly how to get in contact with you. All right, Whitley, you're our last one. Go ahead.
Hello. Can y'all hear me? Hey, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Can you see my background? This is my logo for my business. My name is White. I am the CEO member manager for She Hustles by Avery's Creations. That is a hairline. Two reasons that got me into starting this business. My business is located in Eastover, South Carolina. That's kind of where I grew up. And I've always been insecure about my hair. As a child, I've always wanted long, curly, flowing hair down my back. But I was, blessed with type 4C hair. So, growing up, that's always kind of had me a little insecure about my hair, which led me down the path of starting my own hairline and hair care, because I also sell hair products as well. And also I want to create generational wealth for my two daughters. When I'm old and gray, I want them to take on my hairline as well. Give me a second, because I wrote my pitch down. So if you guys can't see me, can you still hear me?
We can still hear you.
Okay, great. Just making sure. So let me pull it up for you. My hair care company, She Hustles by Avery L's Creations, is a hair extension company. We provide wigs, hair care products such as lace glue remover, edge control. We also offer beauty products such as lashes to enhance the look of the eyes on women. Most Black women these days are now wearing wigs, and they mostly care about these important factors. How long will the wig stay on my head? Will the glue that's securing the wig on my head rip off my natural hair edges underneath my wig? My company offers lace glue to secure a wig, even if the customer decided to take a swim. Also, my lace glue remover we sell will ensure that there will be no damage to the natural hairline when removing my lace wig products. Our company is a one-stop shop. We offer everything a customer will need for a wig installation and removal. We offer a variety of wigs and different colors, lengths, and textures. If you like curly hair, our deep wave wigs are for you. We offer head wraps to secure your baby hairs or your natural hairlines after installation. Another product that we offer is hair wax sticks that keeps those flyaway hairs down on the wig or your natural hair. And also, it gives your hair a salon finish look. Therefore, I feel like my company will always be a great choice for a Black woman looking for the best quality products at an affordable price. And I was nervous saying it, so because that's I wrote it down, but that's my first time actually having to say it to somebody. So I hope
you did it. Congratulations. You did it, Queen. You did it.
One of my wigs that I sell in my head as well.
I love it.
Good job.
I love it. So my sweet friend, first of all, shout out to Eastover. My parents live in Hopkins, so shout out to Eastover. I love your story. I love your personal story. If you've been here the entire time, I always say, lead with your personal story, lead with the story, right? Facts tell, but stories sell. So your personal hair struggles, right? Anybody who listens to that, right? Especially if you're African-American woman, we usually have a love-hate relationship with our hair. I'm still traumatized about the hot comb. If you are Caucasian, just inbox me later. I'll explain what that means. But still traumatized, right? So I think leading with that story is so powerful, and then bringing your girls into this journey of legacy and how, because when I heard you, what I hear is that you are giving hair. This is a term I'm just going to make up. You can use it if you want to in your company. I think every company should have this own language, right? Starbucks has its own language. It's created a culture, a small is a tall, right? What you do is hair confidence. And when I was listening to you, I just was like, yeah, I can get with that. Hair confidence is what you sell. And so leaning into that and bringing that confidence piece into the story, I think is so key and so powerful. So starting there, and maybe not going through all the rundown of the products, but talking about overall what the products do, because you have a lot of products, young lady.
I do.
I'm impressed.
It's a lot. I need a store.
Right. So what if you just kind of encapsulated all of that into this hair confidence line or that kind of thing? Just thinking about that is what I would say. Shanice, tag, you're it.
Definitely. 1 to twin powers. Okay, so what is your company name one more time?
She Hustles by Avery L. Avery L is my middle name. Creations. Avery L sound better to Whitley. Whitley just sounds so Eastover and country to me. So I go by Avery L. I go by Avriel. The company is named after my middle name. She Hustles by Avriel's Creations, LLC.
Okay. So I would love for you to really refer to yourself as a solution company, and understand, because you said it, but when you said it's almost, how can I say it? I'm trying to look for the best way to say it. You have a solution for a particular subset. You are very niched. You serve African American or Black women who really enjoy using hair as an accessory, like me. Okay, and that hair as an accessory, as Rashonda said, what you're doing is you're making them feel confident with hair confidence about what they do. I mean, so in your pitch, kind of bring that home. You know, bring the fact of that's the real solution. The products you have are not the solution. The products you have are how you get to your solution. Your solution is the fact that you are giving the hair confidence to women of color, specifically those who didn't like their hair.
All right.
I identified with you from the get-go because I got 4C hair. Y'all see this hair? And to get certain looks that you want, it takes a little bit more work. So that's why a lot of times I put on crochets and weaves and things. So I want you to sell that. So what you're selling is not products. What you're selling is a feeling. Now, everybody's not like that. Some people need to sell the product, but when you're pitching, I want you to sell the feeling. Okay?
Okay.
Shanice, I think this is a teachable moment, and I know we need to end, Erica, but I want to ask this right quick. Shanice, I know this answer, but I would love to hear from you. I think Whitley's a perfect example of features versus benefits.
Yes.
We don't understand what those two things are. So are you comfortable enough to explain that, the features versus the benefits?
Yeah. So features, benefits is what you get out of it. Okay. The features is all the stuff you have, those things. And so a lot of times when we're pitching and when we're selling, we like to pack on all the features because we want people to buy the product and don't feel like they're spending so much money on something. So let's say one of your wigs is $300. So then what you're going to do is say, it's flame retardant, it does this, it has this color, it has this, it has that, and it has all these different things that you're listing, which is great. But for your company, you don't need to do all that. You can list those things, but what they're buying is the benefits. You're going to feel beautiful. It's easy to manage. You will be able to reuse it. And when you go out in the world, you're going to be able to do X, Y, Z. That's what they're going to buy. That's what they're going to do, So I would focus for you on those benefits. Now, everybody has a benefit. That's marketing. Even in marketing, you're selling your feelings. You're not selling your product. You're selling the feelings that you make somebody feel. But for you, especially Whitley, you're selling benefits. So I would really focus on that. Really focus on doing that. You got the passion, you got the voice, you got the hair color. I mean, me, you, and Rashonda can make a whole box of crayons. This is amazing. So with the sharpener in the back. So, I mean, that's the good thing. So you got that. And I'm going to need you to be okay with Whitley because Whitley is not Eastover.
It isn't. It was on a different world. I was about to say, what happened to Whitley Gilbert?
Let me tell you what's Eastover, y'all. My first name is LaKanya. I don't use that. I use Shanice. I use LaKanya. So I don't use that. So Whitley is a beautiful name. It goes definitely with who you are. Definitely who you are. So I love it.
I'm just gonna say one other thing too. And I know we got to go, Erica, but I have to say this to you. I'm gonna call you Whit. Every time that you moved behind your emoji and your thing, all I keep seeing is your crown on your head.
Yes.
I want to remind.
No, stay there.
No, stay there. I'm making a point. Whit, sit back down.
I see it.
Right. What I want you to understand is wear your crown, sweet girl. That's what I want you to do. I want you to wear your crown. Okay?
Got it.
Okay.
I know, we keep saying, Eric, you gotta go. Just as a strategist, because I can't, who is in me, I would consider changing the name of your company. Just saying. It's long and it doesn't really represent who you are, and hustling is not what you're going to be doing. And when people hear that in your pitch or when you're selling things, they're going to think that you're only in it for the hustle. But wearing your crown, Whitley's crown, Witt's crown, something like that, Queen Whitley hair care products, any of that really would go with what you're really wanting people to feel. Same logo, same thing, but something like Queen Whitley, Whitley hair care, Whitley's Kingdom or Queendom, something that really goes to what you want these women to feel. And you can stay colloquialism because you're dealing with culture. You can say bundles, baby hair, poppin'. You don't have to cross over. You can stay within the culture. So, but I would advise you to take hustle out.
I love it. I'm glad you said it, because I was over here like, let Shanice say it. Let Shanice say it. Listen, I love it. And I love the direction that you're going and how you told Queen Wit. I love this, because here's the other thing that I love about this exchange too, is it's really defining you to step into it. And so I want to give you some homework. I know we didn't give anybody else homework, but I'm giving you homework. Okay. I want you to study the story of Madam C.J. Walker, because as Shanice was talking to you, I was just like, have you heard of Madam C.J. Walker and her story?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
One of my favorite quotes by her, I got my start by giving myself a start. I think you should really now study her story, because your story and her story align, right? So what you're doing now is you're taking your position in your business and in this market as the queen of it. See, I call myself the first lady of visibility. No one else is calling me that. I'm a first lady in real life, right? But I was just like, yeah, I am the first lady of visibility. And now people start calling me that, right? People call you what you see, but sometimes you got to see it first. So take your position.
Put your contact information, please.
I'm going to put it in the chat box right now.
Yeah, put your Instagram, because I want to send you the picture of what we see.
Okay, ladies, this has been great. This has been awesome. I just want to say thank you to all the business owners that was confident enough to go out there and pitch their business. Don't forget, before we get up, to drop your business name, contact information, website in the chat. If you want to save the chat, there's 3 little dots in the chat next to the emoji. Go ahead and click on that and it will save all the chat information. So if you wanted to refer back to a business owner or call somebody that you may have seen on the chat, that information will be there. Also, again, this workshop was aired live on Richland County's YouTube channel, so you can go back and watch it. I just want to say thank you to all of our presenters, Anjanette, Rashonda, Shanice, thank you so much. This has been awesome. If you enjoyed it, I want you to show me some hands. Give me some hands. Give me some hands. Thank you. Again, I want to say thank you to Diane, Lucy, and the Richland Library team. Thank you to the awesome OSBO team for putting this together. This has been great. Remember, February 3rd is our next workshop that we're going to talk about how to do your business plan. Shanice, you want to talk about real quick, the Google workshops that's coming up?
Yeah, I was
really quick.
Looking at Whitney's website, I'm like, oh, this is nice.
Thank you.
Yes, I would love all of you to come to our workshops. They are up and ready for you to be a part of them. I am putting in the link right now for you to register inside of the chat room. There will be prizes. Yes. So if you come, there are prizes that I'm giving away. We have 2 amazing guest speakers who are actually Richland County residents who are coming to speak about what they're doing, brand strategy. So please, by all means, and it is free.com. You can't get any better training than this. They are free for you. You don't have to worry. You get all these things that are going to help help you grow your business, professional brand, all of it. So please go to g.co/digital Coach SC. Sign up with us. You'll see some information, and I will see you guys on the next one, which will be January the 18th. All right.
All righty. So again, thank you to everybody. Have a safe and wonderful rest of the week, and looking forward to seeing you guys in the next workshop on the 18th that we're partnering with Shanice and Google, and February 3rd. Good afternoon.
Have a good afternoon. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
This is the workshop.